Somebody asked me, Lucy, is that ethical? You're essentially manipulating these children. Well, yeah, is it ethical? I don't know. But our role at Initiative is to move products. And if we know you move products with a certain creative execution, placed in a certain type of media vehicle, then we've done our job.
When I first started seeing children as a psychotherapist about a quarter of a century ago, I would routinely ask them what they wanted to be when they grow up, and would hear things like a nurse, an astronaut, or some profession that seemed glamorous to them. Around the late 80s, it started to change, and I started to hear children answer that question with the word rich. When I grow up, I want to be rich, I want to make a lot of money, I want to have a lot of stuff. The commercialization of childhood is permeating their lives. We're talking about a profound remaking of their psyche.
I think the thing that upsets me the most is that it's not just products that are being marketed to children, but values. And the primary value that's being sold to kids over and over and over again is the value that things or stuff or brands will make us happy.
The product is pushed not on the basis of what it can do or how it tastes, but of its social meaning.
Run cool! Play cool! Be cool!
So kids are taught to want candy or sugared cereals or soda because it's cool.
Cheesy.
It will define them as an individual. What you buy is who you are.
You gotta have it, gimme. That's the value system.
I want more.
Self-indulgence, instant gratification, and materialism.
Oreos for breakfast? This could be the start of a very cool day.
School will be closed today, so Jimmy can go skateboarding. Hey, Jimmy.
Cool. Son, I've decided to raise your allowance. Cool. New cool stuff Oreo toaster pastries from Nabisco. The creamy filling, the chocolatey taste. You know what we're talking about. And now it's part of a complete breakfast. Need a ride to the skate park? Cool. Oreos for breakfast. Cool stuff happens.
This early socialization into the consumer world, of course, leads to this, what the marketers call pester power. Now, I don't know about your children, but my children had a number of pester power strategies. First of all, there's the promise. Mum, if you buy me the iPod, I promise I'll keep my room tidy for a year.
Your room clean. We'll go to Chuck E. Cheese's.
Chuck E. Cheese's, a real cool place to be a kid. What did you do to deserve it?
Kid, don't mess around.
Or there's the threat, which is particularly effective in crowded retail environments. Mum, if you don't put the chocolate Shrek yogurt into the trolley, I'm going to scream and scream.
The Federal Trade Commission report that came out looking at the marketing of media to children showed that indeed the media industry was marketing material to children that even their own rating systems said were too young for that material.
Marketers even have a name for this trend. They call it kids getting older, younger.
The natural developmental urge is to be older, more mature, faster. No one who is 17 reads 17 magazine. It's the 10 and 12 and 13-year-olds who are reading it to understand what it's like to be 17. What is happening is that marketing is taking advantage of that natural urge and selling down to lower and lower age groups. The very people who are making the product are telling you what's appropriate for kids. And they don't use child development experts in deciding this. And the questions they ask are not, is this okay for kids? It is, would parents let kids of a certain age watch this?
12 years ago, there were no youth conferences where you looked at more effective ways to market to kids. Now, there are probably 15 a year, different conferences on tweens, teenagers, the Latino community, how to reach youth with your product, your program, your packages, your characters, your advertising campaign, how to reach them more effectively, how to get more of their dollars, which is marketing, and you can't blame people for that. But is it balanced with more conversations, more discussions of what's good for kids, how can we move our society forward in a healthier way? No. Not once have I ever heard a corporation say, let's put on the chalkboard the pluses, the maybes, the questionable impact, and here's some negatives that could come out of our product or program. I've never seen it.
If I'm a producer and distributor, I don't think it's fair for me to say, well, I don't care what the social consequences of what I do are. I'm just making a buck. I mean, we wouldn't tolerate that in a lot of other areas.
And so the question I'd like to leave with you to ponder is this. Do we want to be the generation that's remembered by history as the one that put our children up for sale?